Hey guys, welcome to Project Metal, Project Metal's music YouTube channel. Um, Today we are discussing music, mainly rock and metal, and what influenced us over the years, and what bands we are fans of. So today we are kicking. Yes, well, this is like the first thing I'm going to be doing today. Um, this is like the first time I actually did all anything like this. So I hope that everybody is going to enjoy this. So let me do like a bit of a thing first, like sharing the stuff out and everything. So I hope there's going to be a lot more people who are going to be showing up today. So let me see. Right. Um. Let me see who's going to come in. So I'm hoping that I'm going to get a few more people in to see what see see who's going to come in. So I'm hoping. All right, let's see who's going to show up. I'm going to be talking about like a lot of other stuff. Um, I'm going to talk about stuff such as like my first real experience in the music, such as like the punk era, going into thrash, post punk era, such as like the dark wave and goth, to see what and going like from the 80s, going in through the 80s, like discovering bands such as like Twisted Sister and a few other bands as well. So like getting into different bands. So and then going into like into the 90s and how I've like basically fell out with basically music that's coming out from um, coming out of the UK and US back in the mid 90s because the music that was coming out of that was just shockingly bad. Sorry to say, like, but it was just like everything was just so manufactured. It was unreal. Now, don't get us wrong. There were a couple of bands, literally a couple of bands that it was just they were really good, and it was just like sod to bear the big labels at the time. And it's just like, nah, what's the point? So then I'll be going on to like how I pretty much pretty much started Project Metal Music, and back in like just over 5 years ago now. So let's get started. So Ooh, when I was about what? God, I'm going back to the late 70s now, where I was, I was about 5 years old, six, something like that, and it was like the late. It was at the height of punk, and oh God, now if you back in like in the UK back in the 70s, especially in like the late 70s, you couldn't really step out of the house without seeing punk, in anything to do with punk. So you couldn't really. So and when you were a 5 year old kid, you just like literally, yes, Sue, I know, you found it. So, um, so when you've so you basically you just like thinking, what the hell is this? To a 5 year old kid, to a 5 year old kid, you just like thinking, what? Who are these people? Why are they dressed like that? Why have they got the hair like that? Why have they got like, especially with like some of the like people with the Mohicans and everything? You just like thinking, what? Eh? What? You just like thinking, to a 5 year old kid, you just like thinking, what the hell? And it was like such bands as such. I've got into like such bands as the Pistols, the XTC, Susie and the Banshees, the Damned, who were like all pretty big back then. So, I was just like thinking, really? But back in the late 70s, when back in the late 70s when like the punk sort of like faded a bit, quite a bit back in the background. It was I'll go into bands such as the Tube Army, like Gary Newman. Pink Floyd came out with like the Another Brick in the Wall, part two. And there was like a good few other bands from the time that actually got into that actually got me into like in more heavily into music. Um, but it was until what 1980, I believe it was, with like the um, with their Motorhead's Ace of Spades album. When I heard that, I was just like, "What is this?" I was about what at the time I was about 7 at the time when this came out, and I was just like, "Whoa!" This is I would totally love this, especially the single Ace of Spades. So I was just like, "Yep, that's me. This is the life for me." I was about, like I said, this was about 7 at the time, and that's when I was like got into like sort of like sort of like the rock and metal scene. So I was just like, "Oh God, yeah." So throughout the 80s, I was like, listen, I was like I was starting to get into such bands as like obviously Meatloaf. I was getting into Twisted Sister, Wasp. I was getting into all sorts of music. Um, so as you can imagine, I was like, I was getting into Alice Cooper. I was getting into quite a few other bands. But it wasn't up until really the early 90s, really, that, anyway, 88, really, that's really started to heavily get into rock and metal. So I was like listening to Iron Maiden, and I got it heavily into Iron Maiden back in about what, 88, 89, something like that. So I was like, I got it. When I heard Iron Maiden's "Can I Play with Madness" single back in '88, I was like, "Who's this band? What's this band about? What because it was in the video to "Can I Play with Madness." It was Grim Chapman from Monty Python fame that caught my attention in the video, and basically that was his last ever job before he died. So as you can imagine, I was like, whoa, the connection between Monty Python and Iron Maiden, I was like, that's a good combination. And that's when I got really heavily into where Iron Maiden over the course of about 3, maybe 4 years. I pretty much bought anything Iron Maiden, pretty much. And basically, I got to see them in 98, 2001, and 2011. And I was just like, yep. I've seen him with like Blaze Bayley in '98 when he did the X Factor album, and then I've seen him Maiden again when Bruce Dickinson came back in like 2001, and then seen them in 2011 when they did the Final Frontier tour. So I was just like, yeah. But back in the mid 90s, like I said earlier on, I just lost total interest. That came out, total interest in music. That was pretty much totally lost interest in music. What was basically coming out of US and the UK. Because I was just like, I just find the music coming out pretty much out of these countries was just like shockingly bad. In my mind, this is just my personal opinion. I just lost interest in it, pretty much. There was a couple of bands from the UK and the US that still held my interest. So, but from about 96 onwards, 97, I just like literally looked towards Europe, and this is when I literally found Within Temptation, which is still holds my attention big time over the even about 23 years, 23, 24 years later, they still hold my interest. I'm still a fan of theirs. It was before I saw any photos or the band or any videos for the band, I just fell in love with Sharon, the lead singer's voice. When I first heard them back in beginning of 1997, I was just like, Jesus. And I was like, yeah. And you can't type in the chat to let me know who is your favourite band. Who's your favourite band, and who you've been following for the longest time? Anyway, over the course of from about 97 up until around about 2000, 2002, something like to about 2002, 3. I was just like listening to a lot of music from Europe, such as like Dimmu Borgir. Um, I was listening to Rammstein. I was listening to such bands such as that. But I took a break from listening to music and to for personal reasons, which I'm going to discuss here. I'd, it wasn't until about 2006 when I started to get back into music. Um, a friend of mine at the time, uh, before he died, got me into like a band which I've been like massively heavily involved with. Well, I would say heavily involved, but I was heavily a fan of was After Forever. If it wasn't for the, I was like, whoa. And but unfortunately, they broke up in 2000. Officially broke up in 2009 after like going off on a high, out on a high. And I've been following Flo Johnson, the lead singer. So basically, and I've been following her career following her career, where she did put a band together called Revamp back in 2010, and basically they did two albums, which is a self-titled one and Revamp, and second album called Wildcard, and I was like, whoa. Oh, and then when in about 2013, 14, I heard that Revamp was put back on the back burner for the time being, and as Flo actually got was made the lead singer of Nightwish. Now, with Nightwish, I was like, I've been following them since about 2003, 4, something like that. I was like, sort of like, and I was just like thinking, whoa, these are quite pretty good. And now Torture and then the next singer, Annette, were for what they were really good, especially Torture. I wasn't really keen on Annette, but she's especially on Dog Passion Play. I wasn't feeling, I wasn't feeling it. So I was like, okay. But when Imaginarium came out, I was like, yeah, she's cracked it now. With she's done a good job on Imaginarium. So I was like, when Floyd came in and as the singer, I was just like, yep, they made a good choice there, damn good choice. So and then I rekindled another band that basically rekindled. I became a huge fan of. Uh, was is Incubus Succubus. So Incubus Succubus is another good, damn good band from Britain. Sort of like goth, like pagan folk metal type of thing, and yeah, but basically, I wasn't really paying much attention. Oh, on 2004, I received a album for my birthday, which is the Beach with Two Packs, and I was just like, I listened to it. I basically listened to the album, and I was just put it to one side, and I didn't pick up the album again until about the beginning of 2006. and it's just as well I did because basically that album and the band basically saved my life, basically. But I won't go into details here. That's for another show. That's for another show. So, and we think about Succubus over the years of, but in 2000 and, oh God, 2000, no, 2010 and 2011. No, 2011 and 2012. Well, I've seen them 3 times and they were amazing live. And I mean, literally amazing live. So I was just like, that's when I basically totally fell in love with the band all over again when I saw them live. So as I was like, I've been following them for about what 14, 15 years now, coming up to 15 years. So So, like I said, let me know in the chat what you think. What's your favourite band? So I'll let you get up to 15 when I started there. So let me know what you think of who, like I said, who's your favourite band, and what's your impact? What's your favourite song by the band, or what song that you actually love, but you don't really not really a fan of the actual band, what you bear the songs by. Yeah, well, over the well, let me get. Well, in the 2000 and I've told this story on the radio show, which is on Project Metal Across the Pond on digitalrevolutionradio.com. Check the station out; it's absolutely amazing for indie bands, indie and unsigned bands, and they always play absolutely brilliant music on there with brilliant DJs. Anyway, back in 2015, July, I was listening. I was at my brother's house, and he had the radio on, which was he had BBC Radio 2 on, and I was just like, it was just playing in the background, and it was like this infomercial from the BBC, from another part of their thing, part of the broadcast system, broadcast one of the radio stations, which was BBC Radio 6 Music. And now, if you don't know who Jarvis Cocker is, he was the lead singer of Pulp, or still is, or whatever it is. He still does. I don't know if they're still going Pulp. He was on vacation then, and they had like a guest DJ in, like normally what they do is that if somebody goes on vacation, they get like either another radio station or another radio DJ or some guest DJ to come in, and to take to like fill in for them until he gets back from vacation. So it was Ron and Russell Mail from Sharp, not from Sparks came on to fill in for him, and I was like thinking, oh, that's I haven't seen or heard from them for in a long time. So I basically thought, oh, I'll listen to that. I'll listen to that. So anyway, the following week, which was Sunday the 12th of July, and I was like, okay, let's see what you got on. Let's see what you play because they picked a load of songs from what they found interesting. And I was like, sat down, put the radio on, and just see what the bear played. Now, the second song that they played was a song called Headbanger, and it was from a band called Baby Metal. Now, considering I wasn't really paying attention to music for a while, I was just listening to some bits and pieces here and there for uh, for a while, and I was like thinking, oh, what's this? Who's this? What's this all about? So I was just like looking at the. I looked the Baby Metal up, and I said, "Oh, What's this going on?" So I looked at the. I was like, that's when they seem interesting. I like because I like the concept of what the Baby Metal was. It's a combination of J-pop and J-metal because the producer of the band, Kobe Metal, what he loved J-pop and J-metal, so he thought might as well combine the two. And I was just like, yeah, okay. I was like thinking, all right, okay. So let's see what's like. So, and that's when I started. That's when I said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna." Sorry for swearing, but I said basically, "Fuck it, I'm gonna start writing about music again." Because I did little bits and pieces here and there years back. So I decided. So I wrote. So for good few months, I was like, I was debating whether I was doing a bit here, writing some about writing reviews here, writing a couple of reviews there, and I wasn't really going to take it any further. But somebody on Twitter said, "Why don't you keep going? Obviously, you've got a knack for it." So I said, "Yeah, fair enough, I'll do it." And that was back in October of 2015. So I was like, okay. And I haven't looked back since then. I've written God knows how many, over 500 reviews myself. I had a few guest writers come in to write reviews. I've had people going out and recovering gigs. Yes, this, that, and the other. I've interviewed people. I've got my own radio show. I've interviewed people. I've been to quite a few places that I haven't been to, watching bands because I've been invited to go and see them and stuff like that. So as you can imagine, I'm well chuffed with all because of basically Baby Metal. Like listening to BBC Radio 6. So, anyways, let me know in who else. So I'm hoping to do this at least once a week. So, I'm hoping to, like I said, I'm hoping to do this once a week. So, well, check me out. I'm hoping to do, like I said, do this. I'm hoping to do this at least, like I said, at least once a week. I'm hoping, depending on. So I'm going to be sharing some of my thoughts about bands, like, especially since after the about the times with the project metal music, for the bands, especially with the bands I've discovered over the last 5 years. So I'm hoping to do this at least once a week, depending on if this lockdown's going to be lifted on clubs and night who do live music. I'm hoping to get back to going to gigs sometime later in the year. Hopefully, fingers crossed. So I'm also hoping to get like one or two things sorted out for the YouTube channel. So I'm going to end it there, and I'm hoping to do another live stream, hopefully next Wednesday on YouTube or even on Facebook, depending on the time. Um, so come back, follow the channel, subscribe, and the ability like, share, and subscribe type of thing, like everybody keeps banging on about. Yeah, and even click the notification bell if you want to see more stuff from Project Metal Music, because I have been posting a lot more stuff of gardening, places of interest, etc., etc., etc. So check all the stuff out. So I'm going to leave it there and keep watch on Facebook or Twitter or both for the next live stream. So I'm going to leave it there and say adios.